Hello guys, welcome to Blended Academy. My name is Mashudu and I'm going to be your tutor for mathematical literacy. So today I'll be covering percentage increase or decrease, and also I'll cover ratios, proportions and rates. Later on I'll briefly discuss conversions. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hello guys, welcome to mathematical literacy. Today I'll be covering percentage increase or decrease. And later on, I will cover ratios, proportions, and rates. This is one of the most simplest and easiest section of mathematical literacy because it's a basis. If you can be able to understand this, then you'll be able to answer most of the questions in mathematical literacy. So let's get on it. What is percentage increase or decrease? The percentage increase is the percentage that has to be added to the value that you'll be given. While the percentage decrease, that percentage is being deducted from the value that you have been given or that you'll be given. So let's now put it into the bigger scenario. I'm going to give a typical example so that you can understand what we mean by percentage increase. I'm going to start with percentage increase and then later on talk about percentage decrease. Let's say that the petrol price increased by 50%, and I'm going to write that down. So let's say petrol increased by 50%, right? And then you have to be given a value so that you can be able to work that percentage out. So, let's say that petrol costs 15 Rand per liter, alright? So, this is just a typical example. So, you are being given a percentage that has increased for petrol, and then you have been given the amount or the cost of the petrol per liter. And the question will come like this. What is the new cost of petrol? Let's see if we can answer that one. So, what is the new cost? The new cost is equals to the original value multiplied by the percentage, right? Let's break it down now. So, what is the original value? The original value is the cost of petrol per liter, which is 15 Rand. 15 Rand, right? So, multiply by the percentage. What is our percentage? Is 50%, right? So let's go on and break it down. So 15 Rand multiplied by 50 divided by 100. We all know that the percentage represents hundreds. So it's 50 divided by 100. So let's see if we can work that out. So it's going to be 15 Rand multiplied by 0.5, and let's see the amount that we're going to get. So it's going to be 15 multiplied by 0.5. That one is going to give us 7 Rand 50, right? And remember, at all time the monetary value has to be rounded off to 2 decimal places. That is the rule. So now we have 7 Rand 50. What is this 7 Rand? The 7 Rand is the value from the percentage, right? So now what is the new cost? It means that we have to add the original value of 15 Rand plus the value from the percentage. So it's going to be plus 7 Rand, 50, right? let's see. This gives us 7. It gives us, so it's going to be 15 plus 7, 50. So this one is going to give us 22 rand, 50. You can see on your calculator that it gave you 22 rand, 5. So the monetary value has to be rounded off to 2 decimal places. So this is our final answer. We have answered the question of what is the new cost if the petrol price increased by 50% with the original cost of 15 rand per liter. So that is our final answer. Let's now shift to the percentage decrease. Let's say you go to a typical shop and you find a pair of jeans. Let's say the jean costs 400 rand and you're being told by the salesperson that that jean has 20% off or discount. How do you work that out? You'll be asked that what is the new cost of the jean? Let's see. So the jean costs 400 rand, right? Great. So, and then you're being told by the salesperson that the discount from the jean is 20%, right? So let's see if you can be able to answer that one. It falls under percentage decrease. What is happening here is that we have to remove 20% out of that 400. And then before we do that, of course, we have to calculate the 20% of 400 and find the value. And later on, subtract that amount of money because we are removing the percentage out of the original value. So let's see if we can work this out. So it's going to be the new price or cost, let me write price, is equals to original value multiplied by 20%. So what is our original value? Our original value is 400. So we're going to put that 400 multiplied by 20 divided by 100, right? Let's see. So it's going to be 400 multiplied by 0.2. Let's see if we can find the answer. So it's going to be 400 multiplied by 0.2. So that is going to give us 80 rand. So 80 rand. What is that 80 rand? 80 rand is the value that we have taken from that 20% out of 400, right? It's not the final answer. So let's go to the final answer now. The final answer requires you to find the new price of that jean if they have 20% discount. Let's see if we can work that out. It's going to be the original value, which is 400, minus the discounted value of 80 rand, right? So it's going to be 400 minus the discounted value of 80 rand, and that gives us 320 rand. So what this means is that you are basically saving 80 rand out of that 400 that you're supposed to pay initially. So the amount that you're going to pay now is going to be 320 rand, right? So that falls under percentage decrease. So this is how we work out percentage increase or decrease. I'm going to go to the next step I'm gonna go to the next step, which is the ratios, right? Let's talk about ratios. These things are quite interrelated. You cannot understand one and not understand the other. If you can be able to understand all of this, then that is your departure to understanding mathematical literacy basics. Let's see the ratios. I'm just going to give you a typical example before I explain what ratios is. Let's say you work for Blended Academy, and Blended Academy has 250 employees, right? And then you're being told that out of those 200 employees, 25 of them are managers. So let's write that down. So the organization has 150 employees, right? You have 150 employees, and you're being told that in that organization, out of 150 employees, 25 of those are managers. And they ask you, what is the percentage of managers to employees? Let's see if we can simplify that. So basically, you're going to write 150, these are employees, right? Minus, or let me say, yes, minus 25. So that one is going to give us what? It's going to give us 125 employees. So basically what we've done here, we have removed managers from employees, right? So now we have 125 employees because 25 of those are managers. So let's see if we can work that out. The ratio therefore is going to be 125 is to 25, right? So, and then we're going to see if we can get that right. So now we have to break it down. How many times does 25 go here in 125? It goes 5 times, right? So now your ratio is going to be 1 is to 5. So that is going to be your final ratio for that kind of an example. Simple and straightforward. If you can be able to understand this, this is just the basics. Remember, it's just the basics, because I'm cultivating you to understand more advanced proportions of mathematical literacy. So these are just the basics. So let's now move to the following equation. We're going to focus now on the proportions. So let's take a look at the proportions. So proportions. Now, you're being given that there is a camp where there is like boys and girls, and then you're being told that you're being given a ratio, and they said that, okay, a camp is full of boys and girls, right? And then they said that the ratio of boys to girls is 8 is to 11. That is the ratio of boys to girls. So let's take a look at the proportions. So the camp is full of boys and girls, all right? And then you're being given a ratio. They are saying that the ratio of boys to girls is 8 is to 11. So this ratio is for boys, and this one is for girls. right? So, and then you're also given the value or the total number of boys in that camp. They said that there are 88 boys in the camp, right? And then the question is, what is the total number of girls in the camp, right? So let's see if we can be able to answer that. So we know that 8 represent boys and then 11 represent girls. And then they're saying that there are 88 boys in the camp. So let's see if we can work that out. So what we're gonna do is that we'll say 8 is equivalent or is equals to 88 boys, right? And then 11 is equivalent to how many girls? We're trying to find girls now. I'm gonna make this simple as possible, right? So, and then we're gonna use cross multiplication here, and then it's going to be 11 multiplied by 88 divide by 8. Let's see if we can work that out. So 11 multiplied by 88 gives us 968, right? Divide by 8. Now we're still going forward, dividing. This is just the answer to the first equation. 11 multiplied by 88, and then it gives us 968. Divide by that 8. Let's see if we can get the final answer. So 968 divided by 8. So that gives us 121. So it gives us 121 girls. So the total number of girls in that camp is 121. So let's verify if we're right. So we're going to add 121 plus the 88 that we've been given. And let's see if we can arrive to 88 plus 121. 209. So basically, in the camp, the total number of boys and girls in the camp is 209. So this is our first equation of proportions. Thank you very much. So I'm going to move on and go to our final section, which is rates. Let me give you the basics. In mathematical literacy, you are often asked to calculate distance, time, and the average speed, those things. And we often express that in a triangular shape, like this. D, S, T. This one represents the distance, and this one represents the speed, and this one represents time, right? So you have to be given 2 values here to be able to find the third value. So let's say I travel in a speed of 120. So I'm going to Johannesburg with that speed, right? 120 kilometers per hour. So that is the expression of the speed, kilometers per hour, right? And then let's say the distance from where I am to Johannesburg is 420 kilometers. So this is the distance from where I am to Johannesburg. And this is the average speed that I'm driving my car. Let's see if we can be able to determine the time that I will arrive in Johannesburg if I'm driving 120 kilometers per hour and the distance to that destination is 450. Let's see if I can determine the amount of time I'm going to take on the road. So it's going to be 120, the expression is the same, kilometers per hour, divide by, let me write it like this, in the simplest form. It's going to be, remember, is D as V. This triangle is not just there for no reason. It serves a purpose. I will tell you why later on. This is the formula. The distance, so we want to find time. This is the formula. The distance divided by speed gives you time. So this is the formula. So now, what is our distance? Our distance is 420 kilometers. This is the distance from where I am to Johannesburg. Divide by speed. What is the speed? The speed is 120 kilometers per hour. Let's see if we can find time right there. So remember, the values that I'm giving you guys are just examples. So 420 divided by 120. This one is going to give us 3,5. So it's going to give us 3,5 hours. Why? Because kilometers cross each other. We're left with an hour. So this expression is in hours, right? Let us break it down. So now we know that we have 3 hours that we're going to drive. And then we have 0,5 hours again. But we have to convert this into minutes because it's in a decimal form. Let's see. We all know that 1 hour equals to 60 minutes. So 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes. And then 0,5 hours will be equivalent to what? I'm just going to give it an X there. Right? So it's going to be 0,5 hours multiplied by 60 minutes. Divide by 1 hour again. So let's see if we can find that out. Because we are looking for minutes. You remember that these two, they're going to crush each other, the hours, and we find minutes, right? So let's see if we can work that out. Bodmer's rule, remember, Bodmer's rule. But remember, we are going to work this, and our final answer is going to be in minutes. 0,5 multiplied by 60. That gives us 30. So it gives us 30 hours, minutes. And then down here we still have our hour, and then 1 hour. Hour and hour, they cross each other. We know that this is 30 minutes. So basically the distance or the time that I'm gonna take from where I am to Johannesburg, all in all, is going to be 3 hours 30 minutes. 3 hours 30 minutes from here to Johannesburg. So this is how we work out the time. Later on, in our next session, I will tell you about how to calculate the speed and the distance. Thank you very much.